Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Max Shoots Film. Okay, today we will not be shooting a Leica. We're actually going to shoot a camera that I purchased quite some time ago, but never really got around to shooting it, with life, moving, all of that. So what we're going to shoot today is the Voigtlander Bessa R with a Jupiter 8 50mm f2 lens mounted on it. I've had this camera in my closet for quite some time. I've been wanting to take it out on a stroll. There's a lot I really like about this camera, and we'll get into that later. Thankfully, I was finally able to take it out and run a roll through it. I ran a roll of Lomo 800 through it, one of my favorite film stocks, absolutely. And I was pretty pleased with the results. So let's do this. Let's go out to the streets, run a roll Lomo 800 through the Bessa R, come back here, talk about the images we produced with that combination, what it was like to run this camera, and I'll try to compare it a little bit to the Leica M6 because I've run about 60 rolls through this Leica M6 so far, and I've become really familiar with that setup. So it definitely felt different to run this camera, and it was really surprising the images I was able to make with this combination. All right, enough talking. Let's go see some photos. I'll meet you right back here in a few minutes. Okay, guys. Alright guys, what'd you think? I really love the images that this combination produced. To be honest, I produced one of my favorite images I've ever made. It's the one with the staircase. What an amazing image. Specifically this combo of the Jupiter 8 with the Lomo 800. That Lomo 800 I was shooting at 400 ISO, and quite often in camera I'll overexpose one additional stop. And I just love the way that film reacts to being one or two stops overexposed, and especially with a lens as much character as this Jupiter 8. What a killer combination. Another one I really loved was the sunset shot. I just got home, laying on the couch recovering from the heat, and I look outside and I see this orange glow. I was like, holy crap, that sunset's amazing. I had a few frames left, ran out there and grabbed those shots, and thankfully they turned out. So all in all, super pleased with this combination. I'd say let's just run through the specs and the details on this camera so we can frame it out and close out this video. All right, I am not a technical reviewer. I'm going to say that right now. I have notes right here because I'm terrible at this. I care more about the final image than the history and details of the camera, but I absolutely understand how important these details are when you're researching your next purchase, right? So let's get right to it. One thing I want to say is that this is not made by Voigtlander. Cosina manufactured this for Voigtlander. The Bessa R2 was made from 2000 to 2002. This is a Leica thread mount body. That's very important for you to know. You cannot put Leica M glass on a LTM body. Now, LTM lenses, like a thread mount, they're threaded just like they say in the name. They screw onto the body. So what I will say is, if you buy the Bessa R and invest in a bunch of LTM glass, Fear not, money is not wasted. You can buy adapters to take LTM glass and put it on an M body. So, not a bad choice to buy for your first rangefinder, because your glass can go with you if you upgrade to an M body. And if you don't, there's so much good LTM glass out there. Canon makes some really good LTM glass, and obviously Voigtlander does as well. This particular model, Bessa R, when I bought it 6 months ago, $480. And if you go online now, sorry, $380. I don't know, $480. It was $380. And if you go online now it's about $450 to $500. So it's increasing in price rapidly. And this was only, what, 6 months ago. The lens itself was only $28. So if you look at it, $380 for the body, $28 for the lens. I got out of there for, what, around $410. That's a great value. $410 compared to a Leica M6 with the 50 Summicron lens. Yeah, huge difference in price. All right, so moving on, let's talk about the build on this guy. It's a polycarbonate top and bottom plastic, and that's a concern, right? Plastic breaks, dries out, cracks. But I did read online this one review when I was doing research. This dude bought a Bessa R brand new. He's had it for 14 years and never done a CLA and never had any issues. So while I am concerned about the build of this, some people out there are getting a lot of reps out of a camera. 14 years. Also, it's a TTL meter. It is not TTL flash. The flash sync speed, by the way, is 1/125th of a second. This is an all-manual camera. There's no aperture priority. The battery runs the meter. If the battery dies, the meter goes with it, but you can run the shutter, which is good to know. The viewfinder in this thing is absolutely amazing. That is one of the most compelling reasons that that brought me to the Bessa over some of the Canon or Nikon rangefinders. Looking through that's exceptionally bright. I would say at least 25% brighter than my Leica, for sure. This Voigtlander has 4 frameline options that are manually set. You absolutely have to change this if you change the focal length. On the Leica, it's automatically set once you enter the lens into the body and click it, bam, it's going to set the frame lines for you. The Leica M6 has 6 frame line options: 28, 35, 50, 75, 90, 135. The Bessa 35, 50, 75, 90. One good thing about only having 4 sets of frame lines, the 75 and 90 do not share the viewfinder with any other set of frame lines. The Leica M6, every lens you attach has 2 sets of frame lines through the viewfinder, making it slightly more cluttered, but Leica handles it gracefully. But know that you're doubling up on the M6 for every lens you attach, and there is a break on the Voigtlander for at least the 75 and 50 lens mounts. What else? One thing I really like on this is the way that you load film in the Bessa R. It's more of a traditional SLR style, where you just pull this up on the top, door opens, and look at that. It's what you've seen in any traditional film SLR. Super easy to load. Unlike the Leicas, where you have to turn this guy, pop the plate off, open this up, slap the film in. You know, I really used to despise the Leica film loading system, but over time I've become quite proficient at it, and actually I'm much faster with the Leica film loading system now than I am with the traditional film SLR. But it's all muscle memory. It's what I'm using the most, so obviously that's going to be the most comfortable for me. It's not because it's better, it's just what I'm doing the most right now. Talk real quick about the Jupiter 8 lens. 6 elements, 3 groups, f2 max aperture, 1 meter minimum focus. Most of the Leica glass is 0.7 meter focus. This is 1 full meter. I mean, it's hard to go wrong for what I paid. $440. You'd probably pay $500 now. I mean, I paid $410. You'd probably pay about $500 for this complete package. And I think it would serve you well for quite some time. Like that one guy, 14 years. Strong buy. Don't forget LTM glass if you do buy this, but you can use adapters to upgrade. All right, more videos coming out, hopefully weekly now that I'm somewhat settled where I am. All right, guys, if you like this content, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of this content, please subscribe below. And while you're at it, hit that little bell button beside it. That'll let you know whenever I release a new video. Also, if you want to see my work, check out Max Shoots Film on Instagram. I post there daily. Also, all of the full-size images from these videos are uploaded to my website, maxshootsfilm.com, so please check that out. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing week. I'll see you next episode.